Welcome back to the next section of Visual Studio Code and Docker training. And this section is the lab on how we're going to bootstrap our Python application and then interact with it once we have it bootstrapped. Now, this section requires a bit of prerequisites. So ensure you have Docker installed, Docker for desktop for Windows, Mac, or Linux. Also, ensure you have Git installed. And the final thing is Visual Studio Code, which we did in previous chapters. So once we have all these things installed, we can continue on with the lab. Now the lab, if you remember, is all in GitHub. So the link to this actual exercise is down below. So if you check the link, it'll take you right to the actual exercise. If not, you can go to thebyte.io/vscode Docker training and scroll down to section 4, which is power user mode. Once we open this up, it explains the prerequisites, and then we walk through exactly how we're going to bootstrap this project. So you can see exactly what's required to bootstrap and what the steps are in this particular lab. Now, I'm going to switch right over to my Visual Studio Code. I'm going to get myself out of the way here so we can focus right on the screen. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to git clone the project. So git clone it to somewhere on your machine. Once you have it on your local machine, we can go to File, Open, and we're going to open up Visual Studio Code training material. There you go. There's the course material, and we're in power user mode. See, here's the instructions here. We can see the instructions directly in our Visual Studio Code. And also here's our Python application. So you see that's our app.py requirements text. So everything is available right here for us. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bootstrap this. So you can see first we clone the repo, as it says, open Visual Studio Code. And the next step is we're going to open a terminal by opening down here. So if you don't know how to do it, there's a menu at the top, and you go to Menu, Terminal, New Terminal, and it'll open this down here. And I'll just walk you through what that looks like. Because sometimes when you open Visual Studio Code for the first time, you don't have a terminal. So to open one, Terminal, New Terminal, voila, there we go. And now we are ready to continue. And now what we're going to do is we want to make sure we're in the 04 power user directory. You can see now we're in the terminal. We change directory to 04 minus power minus user. And you can see down below that we have everything there within that you see on the left-hand side as well. Now what I'm going to do is we're actually going to open the command palette. And to do that, in Mac, it's Shift Command P. In Windows, it's Control Shift P. And that's going to open up the command palette. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do Docker, add Docker files to workspace. It should be the first one. Go ahead and select the first one. Now it's going to run us through some questions. So the first question asks, what kind of application are we going to create in this bootstrap? And the first one is Python Flask, and we're going to use Python Flask. So go ahead and use that. The next thing, it's going to ask you for the entry point of the application. And the entry point is actually just the application itself. So the application lives in 04 power user directory /app.py. So go ahead and select that. The next thing is going to ask you what port is our application running on it. And it actually already considers that we're running port 5000 because Flask usually runs 5000. But if it's different, you can change it here. So go ahead and select the default 5000. And the next question is include optional Docker compose file. This is a bit tricky because, do I want an optional compose file? Yes or no? It's not very clear what it is. Actually, what it is the debug compose file. So we want that. So be sure to say yes here. So this particular step is the debug step on it. So yes. Once it's done, we can see that we have now a bunch of new files in our Visual Studio Code. So let me just collapse this so we can see everything. Images. And now down in the root of our project, you can see there's a Docker ignore, Docker compose debug, Docker compose YAML, Dockerfile, and a requirements text. Everything that's green is new. Additionally, there's a .vscode file. Let's quickly walk through what the bootstrap actually created. So the first thing is .docker ignore. Now this Docker ignore is essentially used by Docker when we're building images. And it ensures we're not copying anything locally into the Docker image. For example, secrets or anything about our local environment. So it kind of protects us. It's very useful because then you don't, copy secrets in there or different codes or usage keys or anything like that. So it's quite nice, and you can always update it and change this based on your environment. So that's generated automatically. We didn't do anything. Next, it creates a Docker Compose debug. We'll cover that in the debug section. Docker Compose YAML. So you can see it's created automatically a Docker Compose file for us. You can see it's calling our project vscode Docker training, and it's based on the name of the repo. And the image is also vscode Docker training. And it builds the Dockerfile that it created. It's using port 5000. So if we look down here at the Dockerfile, it generates an automatic Dockerfile for us, which is quite amazing. Because I mean, writing this from scratch, I mean, it takes a little while. You have to know what you want and how the application works, but this just looks at the application, understands it, then builds it all for us. So it's using Python, exposes port 5000, adds requirements in, installs the components for requirements, adds the users, and then the command to actually start the application at the bottom. Does that? I think so. All right, so that's the Docker file. And finally, the requirements.txt, it basically copies it out of our 04 directory and fills in some versions here for us. So basically it's using the. All right, so now what we can do, we can actually start our application. That'd be pretty cool. I think so. So let's go back over here to our Explorer. And what we're going to do is we're going to right click on Docker Compose YAML. And you can see down at the bottom, Compose Up. Go ahead and click there, Compose Up. And I'm going to scroll back to the top while it's building this. And it actually executes this command right here. And it fills it all in. It actually builds the project for us. You can see it checks our local Docker installation, rates networks, builds the container, and it goes all the way down. And then at the very bottom, you can see it's up and running. So brilliant, right? I mean, we completely started our project, and now we can head back over to Docker, the Docker extension. So on the left-hand side, you can see the Docker logo. Click on the logo, and you can see we're inside the extension now, and containers that are running, you can see our VS Code Docker training container is running. Now we can interact with this container. We can actually right click on it, and let's check out our application. So right click, open in browser. There you go. It is now opened up a Cat GIF generator, and every time I refresh, it gives me a new Cat GIF. Quite cool, right? And it shows me, courtesy of Giphy and delivered to you by which container. I mean, I didn't have to type anything in the browser. It figured out the port. It did everything for us. I mean, it's Octo magic, right? Let's head back to Visual Studio Code and let's find out a little bit more we can interact with on our container. So that was just right clicking on the container. We can also view the logs, and a right click view logs, and you can see it fills in Docker logs -f, the container ID, and then it shows me the logs. So it shows me, the application started, everything's working, it's being served on 000 port 5000. That's quite cool. We can also inspect the container. So right click, inspect. There you go. It shows me the Docker inspect command. And again, it's the inspect everything about the Docker container itself. So it's really quite helpful to just jump in here. The next thing we can do is right click and we can attach to shell. So that allows us to jump right into the container, start messing around. So we're inside the container, which is really cool because it actually loaded the whole course into the container. But you can see we're kind of inception. We attach to the container shell and we can actually debug inside the need be. So Control D to get out of there. And right click again and we can restart. So let's just restart it quickly. And you can see restarting the container. It stops, starts again. We can stop it, we inspect it, we do all these cool things. Now finally, if I just remove it, go ahead and remove, it does it, it asks you, that doesn't happen in a command line, and it's gone. So it stops the container, removes it all in one go. Quite amazing. So you can see the power within the Bootstrap. I mean, it built us an application, we're able to actually interact with it. We can jump into the command prompt inside the container. We can stop and start. We can view the logs, inspect it. But we can also, if we head back to our open editor again, our Explorer, we can right click on the Dockerfile and you can build image. Again, at the very bottom down here, you can see build image, right click on Dockerfile, build image. And now it's going to ask us, okay, what is the image name we want to create this? Let's call it just Brian test, for example. There you go. It's actually building Brian test. So it's, again, building our Python application as Brian test. So you can build Docker files directly through here. I mean, it just does amazing things without typing anything in the command line. I mean, it's all built in, and we didn't have to type a single line of code to do any of this, which is quite amazing. If I go back to my Docker extension again, you can see here's my image, Brian, just a few seconds ago. We were able to bootstrap our Python project. We can interact with it inside Docker. We able to use some of the power features, you know, being able to start the project with Docker Compose. It builds the image. We're able to launch the container and jump right onto the interface within our browser without even having to open a browser or type in the URL. We can inspect the container. We can look at the image. We can build images. We can do everything right through Visual Studio Code without leaving Visual Studio. So that's really the benefit. That's all for the lab section. Join me in the next section as we start jumping into learning how to write Docker files. Join me in the next section.